You've been all over the place.
I know, so I can't complain.
Yeah, that's all right. That's right. Back to cold Wisconsin.
Yeah, that was a hard entry.
Oh, yeah. Nasty cold. I don't know why. I'm just making sure I've got everybody admitted here. Yeah, it's cold. It's cold and nasty.
Yes, unlike
Okay.
Honduras.
Yeah, right. Yes. How nice. All right, we got Jen joining. So I picked up a subject, and we won't spend the whole time on it, but everybody probably has their own little tips and tricks on how to look good, how to look young. Hey, hi, all that. And so I wanted to just kind of like talk about that stuff and what's worked for some of you. Maybe, you know, some things that didn't work that you want to share that you tried. Because when you feel like you look good on the outside, you feel good on the inside, right? So, and we all getting older, we can't stop the number, but we can still feel and look the best we want, or the best we can. So I'm going to share my screen just because that's where my notes are, because I don't have a printer where I'm at right now. So, so I just wrote down a few things. And then I want you guys to all share a few things. And then if you guys have questions about anything or want to share and things like that. But so you can probably see my screen, right?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Well, we all know, and I'll just kind of start and then we'll jump around and that. I'm gonna probably go back and make sure every now and then I'm gonna check to make sure somebody's not hanging out there that needs to be invited in. So, but we all know as we get older, we get a few lines. Some of us get it, the little smile lines by the eyes, or lines above the top lip, or like around the face, or I mean around the mouth. Here comes somebody. Our hair starts to turn gray in certain areas, sometimes all over. I can speak for myself. I was in my 30s when I started with some gray hair, and that's a genetic thing. So I thank my mom all the time. I have more gray up in the front than I do in the back. I mean, I get my hair colored and all that kind of stuff, but there's those things we can't change. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that we can do that don't involve surgery, you know, for our hair and for our face and all those kinds of things. So things that affect our age are the sun and smoking, diet, heredity, right? And you can tell as women get older, and men too, that you start to develop little pigment areas on your skins. Maybe they call them age spots, freckles. I've got these little red, I don't know what the hell they are, these little red things. It's a certain type of mole. I'm full of them, and that's a hereditary thing. And our skin doesn't produce new cells as quickly as when we were younger. It still does. So we want to make sure we take really good care of it. And also it's not as elastic. It doesn't bounce back. You know, like if you pick up your skins, it kind of like doesn't go down like it used to. And I guess we should laugh about it, right? And that not only our skin changes pigment, but so does our the hair pigment cells too. So so I just did a little research and just some beauty tips, you know, some natural stuff, nothing that involves, you know, like surgery and things like that. And I'm not poo-pooing surgery, because there are some things that warrant it and we feel comfortable with it and there's nothing wrong with it. But smoking is a big one, because that does, and it will prematurely age your skin for sure. The women who smoke, you know, from smoking, or even if you suck on a straw, those lines start to show a little bit more as you get older, because it's that constant action. Just like if you smoke, between your fingers kind of turns yellow too. I mean, I can always, like with men, if they have the gray mustache and then it's all like yellow under there from smoking. So that changes too. Another thing is, you know, tanning, sunbathing, tanning salons. Certain times of the day you should stay out of the sun because of the strong rays. You know, you guys probably know all this. Remember when, and maybe you guys didn't do this, but my sisters and I, we would lay out in the sun when we were younger with baby oil, not like tanning lotion, right? And there we were. Yeah, not a good idea to do that. So I probably had a lot of sun damage as a kid and then growing up. And I love the sun. Like it feels so good and it's just warm and we need that vitamin D. But just make sure you're really protecting yourself. I don't, you know, if you're going to be outside for long periods of time, you know, you can wear hats, you know, long sleeve shirts. You can get the shirts that have like they're like a sunscreen material too. It's kind of, it works. Wear sunglasses and all those kinds of things. So I can speak pretty, I mean, I just had about a year ago already, I guess, I had a basal cell, like right on my shoulder, little skin cancer taken off. It's this tiny little, like it was an eraser head type, not even as big as that. And this incision is like more than an inch because they have to get all the margins and stuff. And then once you have one episode of that, it's more likely that you're going to have more. So it was kind of scary for me to have that happen. I don't know if we can talk about if you guys have had that happen, and the freckles and all those. I love the sun, but I'm really putting a lot of sunscreen on, and it's beneficial to wear SPF 30 or higher and use products with 7% of the zinc oxide so that you have all that protection, and then reapply frequently, like constantly. Sometimes time goes away when you're outside and you're socializing. Just make sure that you're really, really putting it on and not maybe being in the direct sunlight. And for someone like me who likes to be on a boat and likes to be, it really is hard not to be sitting in the sun and feeling that. But yes, and so it says, when I read, with older fair-skinned people are at high risk and must have yearly checks. So because of all my moles anyway, I was going in every year, and when they found that cancer, now I go every 6 months. So just be really mindful of that. I'm a little more fair-skinned, so I have to really be careful. Another thing for your skin, using moisturizers, face, but all over too. And sometimes using a humidifier in the months, like the winter months, if you're in a cold climate, is really, really helpful. You can get the whole house humidifiers, but even if you just do that in your room, like especially at night, it's really good for sinuses and stuff too. Of course, we know if you eat right and hydrate, all the water you guys are drinking is super helpful because it keeps you moist on the inside, but also on the outside. And of course, good nutrition is super important because that helps your body repair damage that you've had, or like dry patches. And like I just noticed I was slicing a squash before, and I sliced my hand a little bit. I'm okay, then a little bit. There's a lot of anti-aging products out there that can enhance and rejuvenate your skin. So something called a pentapeptide is in new products, and I didn't read a lot about it, but it helps support the skin structure and gives a firmer look. And there's also a lot of prescription treatments and retinoids that you can, like dermatologists recommend, that will help. And everybody's skin is a little bit different, just depending on your your family and how you've treated your skin over the years too. So, and then there's different companies. So you probably heard of Rodan and Fields. Labri is another one. There's a lot of New Skin. Those are pretty reputable companies, and their skin products are really good. I've used Rodan and Fields, and I've used Labri, and I have something from New Skin too. but it really is what you find that works well for you. And that's why I thought it'd be cool to have a discussion of what works for you guys and what you use and stuff like that. So, and then there's the skin treatments. So Botox, Dysport, and that's mainly Botox used up in the forehead, you know, between your eyebrows, you know, if those wrinkle lines that we all get because we're crabby once in a while.
Your 11s.
What's that?
Called 11s.
Yeah, 11s. Yes. Yes. And men, there's nothing wrong with men having those treatments too. Right. So, chemical peels for removing fine lines and freckles and smooth skin, especially around the eyes and the mouth. There are wrinkle fillers that you can plump up your skin and like right in here in the fold and down in here. There's certain places that they won't inject on your face. So just be mindful of who you go to for those kinds of things and really check it out and make sure you get, they have good reviews and they back and there's probably different places where you guys go or can go that work. But dermabrasion, micro needling, all of this kind of stuff. There's lots of different things that you guys can do or we can do. And then there's the laser resurfacing for like the sun damaged skin, scars, wrinkles, and other facial problems and things like that. So lots of stuff out there. And then I wanted a little bit about hair too. Of course, there's no cure for gray hair. I mean, look at the hairdressers would be out of business if there was a cure for gray hair. My sister does hair. And
gray hair.
What's that?
There's nothing wrong with gray hair.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But if you don't want it, there's lots of things you can do. So highlighting, right? Can hide those gray hairs. If you do color your hair and if you do like one, like if you just go, let's say I went all brown or whatever, and you know, and you've got the little gray that pokes up through here and my hair grows super fast, I would be going to get my hair done all the time and colored. So just be mindful of what color you use and that kind of thing, and go to a professional. I've seen a lot of boxed colors go wrong. My sister tells me all the time, and my grandma used hair color forever and she always got it out of, I think was it Revlon? I don't know, always colored her hair and used the box color. But there's so many different options out there. And then, you know, like I used to hear too, when you got to be a certain age, you should cut your hair short. You shouldn't have long hair. No, don't tell me that. Yeah. So there really aren't any rules. If you like to have long hair, wear long hair. You can get it cut short, it will grow, all those kinds of things. But if you do have thinning hair, and that thinning hair happens, it can happen to women, menopause will do it. There's also, there's some research being done with COVID. So post-COVID, if you've had COVID and you had a fever with it, a couple months down the road, what's happening is men and women are losing their hair. And they suspect it's from that. My sister's been seeing a ton of it, a ton of people losing their hair. Not like bald, but like, you know, after you have a baby, so those of you who've had babies, remember losing your hair? And that's what's happening. So you could do a shorter cut, you could get it layered, you know, just to make it, you know, a little bit more full. There's shampoos that can add volume. You can do hair extensions, but you have to be careful with hair extensions because they can damage your hair too. So just be really mindful of that. There's this hair product I wanted to pass along, Zen again. What happens is you're not going to lose as much hair, and what it does is it prepares your scalp for more hair growing. And it's a newer product. They make it, and it's based on women's hormones and men's hormones. So there's two different. There's a male line and a female line, and my sister swears by it. She's been starting to use it, or having some of her clients use it, and she says she's seeing really, really good results with it. So if you have even if you know of somebody that is struggling with that, she says it's been a really good product for them. I noticed that I'm losing a little bit of my hair on the sides here, and I did have COVID and I did have a fever. Plus I'm postmenopausal, so I don't know if it's a combination of both, but I've noticed a little bit more recently. Stress can cause hair loss and things like that too. But no, there's ways that can help you feel better about yourself and ways to like make yourself feel pretty. And there's like different ways you can wear your makeup and stuff. I mean, this could be a whole big, talk about, those kinds of things. But I thought, it's starting, the weather's supposed to be getting nice, but we're getting into that spring and summer. We're going to be out and about, and we want to feel really good about ourselves. So wanted to just talk a little bit about those kind of natural beauty tips. Obviously there are surgeries you can have, facelifts and tummy tucks and liposuction and all those are more invasive. I would recommend seeing a physician about that if you want to go that route, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like, so if you've lost a lot of weight and there's just the skin that, it's that, lost my train of thought. There's some of that skin is not going to go back. It's just it's just not. And so to have that removed, it's a big surgery, but it also just, it takes that away, and it helps you feel more comfortable in your clothes, and you don't have that added bulge and that. I have a friend who lost, what did she lose? She's like 5 foot, and she was almost 300 pounds. She lost a ton of weight, and then she did have like 8 pounds of skin removed. She said, like, it's a big surgery, but it's the best thing she ever did, was because what do you do with that extra skin? And liposuction, as long as, it's all those things can be done, but it's also about making sure that, okay, you have that procedure, and now, woohoo, now I'm going to go and I'm going to eat anything and everything, and I'm just not going to have to exercise. And, that happens a lot, right? I'm going to go get my tummy tucked, and then I'm just going to still party like crazy. Well, of course it's going to, those fat cells are going to grow back, and they don't go away. They're just going to grow. And what happens is then you gain more and more weight. So there's nothing wrong with those, but as long as you have that right mindset that you're always going to lead that healthy lifestyle kind of life. Hopefully this was helpful, but I would love it if you guys, would share some of what maybe you've done to, I don't know, make those wrinkles go away. It would help all of us. I can tell you what I've had done. So I did the Botox in here because I realized that when I was working as a nurse manager, we did have a lot of Zoom calls, and I would be like, it just got to the point where it was really prominent. So I had that. And then I had a little filler put in here, but so those are things that I've done, but I do a lot of moisturizing, and I use really good skin products. I eat well, I drink a lot of water. And I'll do it again.
And I'm doing it again.
Are you?
Yeah. I had Botox in my forehead, and I have one. I don't have two. Well, I got another one starting, but I had one. So I had Botox in my forehead in the 11s.
Right.
And she did a great job. I mean,
Yeah.
She really did. So I plan on doing it again at some point. So
Yeah. I mean, the recommendation, I think every provider is a little bit different, but and sometimes in some people it lasts a really long time, and others need to have it done more often.
Right.
So I'll just go twice a year. Yeah, every 6 months. It's not, but I know I have some friends that go more often. Right. Lips, you can get filler in your lips too. Just be mindful. You don't want really big lips, but maybe you do. I don't know. But what happened? You don't want to be the woman walking down the street and all you see are
yeah.
yeah. So, yeah. I mean, it's really what makes you feel good, and what how you feel about yourself. It's for sure. Just like breast augmentation. I used to be, I'm never going to have fake boobs and all this kind of stuff. And then I started doing bodybuilding competitions, and I lost a ton of body fat, and my boobs went from kind of normal 34s to 30, 32. And they it was just uncomfortable. And so it took me a long time, like several consults and like, should I do this? Should I not? And I did it. And that was like one of the best decisions I made. And I'm not huge and I'm like, when I'm like, it's just, you just have to be mindful too. I mean, you can have, you know, I've seen some interesting, like, you're like, whoa, but you know, to each his own. But you know, it's really what makes you feel good, and it's yeah, that's really what it's all about. And so anybody else have breast implants besides me? I'm sure somebody's got to have them.
I
Come
do.
on.
Reduction.
I want them, but I don't got them.
What did you say, Kim?
I had a reduction in lift.
Yeah,
I was the opposite.
right.
So after my kids and everything in my mid 40s, then I had, and it was the best decision
Right.
ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but on skincare, I just recently, the dermatologist I go to, they recommended if you put a vitamin C serum on in the morning before you put the rest of your products on, the vitamin C doesn't wash off, your skin absorbs it. And so, and it acts as a barrier to sun and sun damage. So you put that on before you put everything else, and then before you put your sunscreen. I think the one I have is SkinCeuticals.
Oh, okay.
But I tested it out like right before, because I'm fair skinned and I get spray tans so I always start a vacation really tan and I end really pale. But
oh well.
oh well. But so I'm really conscious because I'll especially like still usually get on my nose or my shoulders. So on the last 2 trips when I was in the sun a lot, I did put that on first and then put it on my shoulders as well. And I didn't have any burning. So there must be something to it, because normally I'll at least get my nose will still get, no matter how mindful I am or you know, hats. So that I thought that was kind of interesting. I had never heard that.
Yeah. Hey Pat, don't you use SkinCeuticals? Some products?
Yes, I do use SkinCeuticals, and I will tell you from experience, when I went to the plastic surgeon thinking I was going to get recommendation for the laser resurfacing, he told me I was past that stage now, that I needed a facelift. And I was like, okay. But he said my skin wasn't in the greatest condition, and I was really surprised because I thought I was using good stuff. Anyhow, he led me down the path of SkinCeuticals. Huge difference in my skin. I still have wrinkles and what I call the alligator stuff, but it's 100%. It is better. However, it's astronomically expensive.
Yeah.
Because once you buy the vitamin C, then you buy the vitamin B6, then you got to buy this repair, then you got to buy that repair, and it all goes together.
Sure. Right.
So I was spending so much money. I could have had a facelift. I could have had the facelift. So I still use the hyaluronic acid. I use their extra emollient, and I went online and I looked up comparable products to SkinCeuticals, and I was shocked to find that CeraVe, which is a over-the-counter moisturizer for the body and face, has a night repair cream that is supposed to be very similar to SkinCeuticals triple lipid.
Okay.
Wow.
So I have been using that for about a month. I love the way it feels. I don't think my skin looks as glowy, but whatever, who cares? And then there's a L'Oreal product that is supposed to be similar to the, another one is SkinCeuticals. I can't remember.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going there tomorrow to pick up the hyaluronic acid, and I use the glycolic every night. And every 3rd night I use a retinol from SkinCeuticals.
Okay.
And when I went to the dermatologist, I had those red things that you were talking about, but they were big. And I have had 3 squamous cells. So I was petrified that they were that, and they would have to do that surgery, which requires stitching.
Right.
but they weren't. And she sliced them right off. But she says to me, wow, you have beautiful skin. I said, you mean with all these wrinkles? She goes, yeah, but it's like in such good condition. What do you use? And I said, SkinCeuticals. She said, the best product on the market, but it is so expensive.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
really is. I might have to give up my nails to keep it up.
Or start getting a commission for testimonials.
Yeah.
Yeah, or get a job, which that's not happening.
Right. Right. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I remember that name, SkinCeuticals. So I knew you said you used it. So
Great,
yeah,
great stuff.
yeah, interesting. I'll put some of these little things in little tips in the comments too when I post the replay. That way everybody can kind of look at that and see and pick off different things that they want to try maybe and
Now,
that.
prior to COVID, I got permission to get my eyes lifted because from Medicare, you see how I have that real hang doggy stuff. And then we had COVID.
Oh, geez.
So now I have to go back and get all that testing redone. And once I get my eyes done, I may consider one of these deals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I've thought about the Botox, but I'm scared of the Botox.
Because of the
Botulism.
the
I don't want,
botulism.
it'd be my luck. Like
I know
zoom in, you go,
but I know so many women. I wonder what the percentage of that really is that you, I don't know.
oh no, it's not a high percentage at all.
Yeah.
Just that there was a case here in Florida that was terrible. 2 doctors in Florida that had a clinic that they both got it. But I thought it only lasted 3 months. You said yours lasts 6 months, right?
For mine, yeah, I don't have to go. I mean, they remind me every 3 months I get a message, but I don't go in every 3 months. I think you can overdo some of that stuff too. Just have to be really careful.
Like the women on the news who have no
yeah.
expression.
Right. It's a slippery slope, I think. Sometimes, you start and and then all of a sudden you want more and more and more and
You're gonna die anyway, ladies. I hate to inform you.
Yeah, but we want to look good laying there dead.
That's right. I'm gonna look great in my coffin.
Right.
And I'm gonna be in shape, and I want to make sure I have on a tank top so everybody can see the damn
right.
muscles.
That's right. Yeah. So I wanna welcome Kim. Is this your first call?
It is. It is.
Okay.
I've now, like, for the rest of the time, realized I can't get my hair done Monday nights, and it's like 2 of them. I was
Hello?
like, yeah, I'm gonna have to do the trick of getting more highlights.
Yeah.
Because right now I just do my roots with my natural color. But yeah,
Right. Same here.
but now I know not on Mondays.
Not on Mondays. Yeah. Right. And Jen's here. This is Jen's first. She's got 1 week under her belt. So this is week number 2. Welcome.
Where's Louisa? Hi, Jen.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I know she was sick for a while.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and Heidi's here and Hillary's here. That's Lori. Lori's there. Woohoo!
Yeah, finally got
Yes,
on.
there she is.
My intro.
Good. I'm so glad to see you guys. This is awesome. So, we can certainly talk more about skin and hair, but if you guys, does anybody have any questions about their program, nutrition, anything that you want to ask me?
I'm making my string beans while we talk.
Good.
Is it possible to take in too much water to the point where you'll start retaining it?
No, you should retain it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's
Unless it has something to do with some of the medication.
I haven't changed any. I
Okay.
don't know why I'm still fighting that 5 pounds since November. I'm back up again.
Are you? I wonder, well, how much are you drinking?
You have me at 120 minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum, and I've got up to 140 some days.
Yeah.
But I haven't missed. I've closed all my rings on my on my watch. I have hit all of my goals for an entire week, so I don't know how the hell I went up 3 pounds.
Yeah, unless it's a hormonal. Have you been sick?
Nope.
Any injury? What about
Salt?
food? Yeah, I was gonna say salt.
I don't
What
think so.
about, have you gone to the bathroom?
Yep.
Okay. Well, sometimes you don't realize
Yeah.
you get
No.
constipated. That can be really miserable.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That was me in the beginning, remember?
Yeah, especially when you're eating a lot of protein and you're not used to it, you can be constipated and stuff. I don't think so, but you know what? Not heard of that, but that doesn't mean. Let me look into that. So what are your average water intake?
About 130 a day.
Okay.
So,
I mean, you should be, a gallon a day is nothing, especially if you're exercising,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. It's frustrating.
Yeah. Do you feel bloated?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I ask a question about that? Because remember when you changed my workout 2 weeks ago and to the progression, standing floor, whatever the heck it was? I was so sore. And I would get up in the morning and weigh myself, and I would be like 3 to 4 pounds over. And then I would go in the hot tub and I would come out feeling so good, and I'd take a cool shower, I'd get on the scale, and I would drop those 3 pounds.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering if the exercise, what is it, lactic acid or something that they talk about, or something that you just retaining something.
Yeah. So the more muscle you have, so the more muscle you build, and this might be it too, Jody, the more muscle you put on, the more water you will have in your body.
Okay.
So that could very well be, I will find out an answer to that question though. But
I just wondered if the carbs, the carbs and the extra water, if the combination of the two were making me retain a little bit of it.
Yeah. But the more muscle, so because it just is. I mean, your water will help feed your muscles, and it's very, very normal. And so what you said too, Pat, when you guys are working out hard and you're lifting and you're putting, you have to realize there's a lot of repair going on at the same time. The repair happens at night while you sleep. So it does affect your weight. So the weight, remember, is that snapshot in time. Like you may weigh a little more on a Monday, maybe you had a hard Sunday workout kind of a thing. So watch that. So I used to, I haven't been doing it much now, but weigh myself every day because I wanted to see the effects of my food, what bothered me, what didn't, but what would make me gain, what didn't, all of that. I'm not saying that you should do that, but you would, especially don't do it if it really messes with your head. Like if you're like so scale, like, but it's a good way to just kind of watch to see what happens and kind of, then what foods are affecting me. What did I do the day before? Now, if you're up 5 pounds, but your clothes are still fitting good, it's probably just some water you're retaining. It's not fat necessarily. And remember, you've been doing some different workouts. You've been working out in the gym. So your body might be just putting on some more muscle and increasing a little bit more of that water.
Oh, you mean the stationary lunges that I've been doing?
Yeah.
30-pound kettlebells in each hand?
That's good.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So think you're using big your muscles, and so you're going to have more water feeding into that. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm okay. My booty's getting bigger. That's good.
Yes. Your booty's, yeah. So does that make sense? The more muscle, you're going to have much more water feeding it. So if you did like a true, like what they call a DEXA scan, where you have, and you can do an in-body where you can have your body fat measured. It will weigh, it'll just do your fat, how many pounds of fat you have, what's your dry, lean muscle mass, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You will see the difference in all of that based on how much muscle you have. It's really fascinating. I'm not saying go out and do a DEXA scan, but they're expensive. But you really get a good idea where your muscle is, what your dry lean mass is. That's without fat, just
Mhm.
bone, bones and muscle. It's kind of a neat thing. Now you guys could, a lot of gyms have, they're called in bodies, where you stand on it. And I mean, nothing is as accurate as a DEXA scan where you lay there and it scans your body. But the in body can come pretty close where it will measure those different portions and you'll be able to see the differences in there. But just knowing this and knowing what you just, that makes more sense, that's probably what it is, because you've been really doing some different workouts too.
And I stayed off that scale for 2 weeks. So I had a perfect week last week and I thought, what
Yeah.
is this this morning? I was not happy to have that happen on a Monday morning. Let me tell you.
Right. Remember? Yeah, but now that I described it, does that make sense? So what I want you to do now, okay, today, that's today, just try like a Wednesday or Thursday and see what the difference is. Or even tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to tell you too, as far as facial products that I use that are a lot more affordable, that my daughter, who's a esthetician, has to try it, and you can get them at Sephora, or you can even get them on Amazon. It's a line called The Ordinary.
Oh.
I've never heard of that one.
And you're not, basically the premise is you're not paying for the fancy bottles and the fancy labels. It's literally a white label with black lettering. It's called The Ordinary. They've got hyaluronic acid, peptides, retinol, what's called a matrixyl. So they've got the whole kit and caboodle, including cleansing balm, and that's what I use on mine. And then I use this lovely little, when you go to the dermatologist, or you can get red light therapy, the mask they put on, that's what this is, only it's for home, and it helps promote collagen production.
Oh.
So I just sit in the morning and do this as I'm drinking coffee. Well, it's about 40, $50 maybe. It's battery operated.
Oh,
And it does work. So it does work.
Yay. And
So this would be called the Revive Light Therapy.
Okay. And you can get that on
Amazon.
yeah, you can get everything on Amazon.
Yeah.
I'm just writing these notes, writing some notes, and then I'll put them. Yes, that's great. Thank you.
You're welcome. And wash your face at night, always.
Yeah, that's another one, right? Yeah.
And moisturize.
And that was something else I was buying too. I was buying their facial cleanser, SkinCeuticals, and SkinCeuticals has science going back, I think it's 35, 40 years, and that's why they're so supposed to be so good. They're not like somebody who's been around for the last 8 years. But I heard that the CeraVe face wash was supposed to be really good, and I tried it. It is wonderful. And it's so much cheaper. It's like, okay, I'm going to keep trying it.
Yeah, that's a great.
When I go there tomorrow to pick up my products, sometimes the girls will say something to me about my skin. We'll see if they say anything. Are you doing your routine?
Right.
And they're all 30 years old with this gorgeous skin, and they got the big fat lips, you know.
Right. Oh my gosh. No, good information. What about you guys? What about women? And it'll probably happen to me too, where your chest gets a little wrinkly. Does anybody do anything there?
I actually
Well,
have
What's that?
I bought that lotion that I've been using that on my chest and on my turkey neck. And it does appear to be taking care of that. You do have to use it twice a day though, once in the morning and once at night. And it is reducing the appearance of the lines here and here.
And what is that called again?
I'm going to have to get it.
Okay.
I'll post it in the part of the chat.
Okay.
And a picture of it. And it's like $60 for a tube, but it lasts a long time. You only have to use, maybe the size of a pea.
Okay.
So, and it does.
And it helps with the turkey neck.
Right here,
Tightens us up.
it does start to tighten up the skin. But
Woo!
like when you get the lines on your chest here, it's like you roll over in the middle of the night and you get up in the morning and you got the big creases. It does appear to be taking care of some of that as well. It's not quite as noticeable. I did it as a test case for you ladies. I spent $60 of my hard-earned money just to see if it would work.
So what company makes it? Do you know?
I ordered it from a lady online that's a friend of mine. So
Okay.
Michelle Reilly, I don't know if Lori knows
Oh, I
her.
think she reached out to me.
Yeah, her.
Okay.
And I was
I ordered some of that.
Did you?
Did you?
Yeah, to let us know how that works.
The sun is the worst for that.
It is.
I had, they called it pre-cancer on my chest, but it was like 1,000 little cells through my whole top of my chest because living in Florida, I'm in the sun all the time. And I had to do a cancer treatment with cream, which literally peeled that my entire, from here down, peeled it off, raw, horrible. And it came back really nice. So whenever I go in the sun, I lather that up with sunscreen. Nothing else, my face, but nothing else, because I don't want it to come back.
Right.
And it looks so much better, but just stay the hell out of the sun.
Yeah.
I mean, don't stay out of it. You
Just
have
take
to.
care
My
of your
face is
skin.
so bad from the sun, really.
Yeah.
And one side of my face is worse than the other, and I tried to figure out what that was, and I drove 500 miles a week to work, and it seemed every time I went down south, the sun was on, and every time I came home, it was on this side. So this side is really, this is the side that my granddaughter wants to know what happened. My face is cracked.
Oh, they're so nice, aren't those?
Nanny, your face is cracked. What happened?
It's funny that you say that because on my hands out the window of the car, I have more age spots right here on my left hand than I do my right.
And also in the nail salons, putting your hands in those lights.
Oh, sure.
You got to put sunscreen on before you go. You don't have to, but
No,
I
it's
mean,
a
if
good
you don't-
reminder, but thank you for that. I never would have thought of it.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
mine looks so much better since I started doing that.
Wow.
You know, putting it on.
Yeah.
You don't think?
You don't. And so, you know, living up here where we see the sun like 3 months out of the year, what happens is we are out there all the time and we don't, yeah. And so then when you live in like a Florida or whatever, you're out there, but you get it because you're used to dealing with it. For me, I know it's like I forget sometimes, not anymore.
Oh,
Just go
listen,
out.
I forget all the time because I don't hang out in the sun like I used to ever since this thing on my chest. And
Right.
you know, I swim.
Right.
So I don't swim as much anymore anyway, because you have me doing other things. But when I go out to swim and I do my swim and I start talking to people and yakking, all of a sudden I say to myself, oh my God, you don't have an ounce of sunscreen on you.
Yeah.
I forget too. And I live here.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's super important. And yeah, just be, you know, and then when I had that happen, it really scared me because I didn't notice anything. I just thought it was something. And now it's like, well, scary.
And look at Hillary. She has such beautiful skin.
I know.
To me, I could,
Yes.
you know, when I look at her, her skin is just so, not a wrinkle there.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
noticing.
So what do you do, Hillary, then?
Well, I wanted to share a couple things. My hairdresser just told me about putting rosemary oil in your shampoo, and she
Yeah.
says that helps with regrowth.
Oh,
And also taking biotin.
okay.
So those were two things that she recommended.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and with my skin, I think over the years I've been really good about washing my face before I go to bed and really taking care of it. I also use Redox signaling molecules. Have you heard of those? There's a gel.
No.
It's actually a product that I share with other people too, but it's a company called ASEA, and I if you want information on, I can share it with you, but it's definitely the people that I know that are like really aging. It almost looks like they're getting younger by using this product. And so it's just like, oh, I just want to keep taking it.
I need a whole gallon of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So, and also
Is it topical or you take a?
both. There's a liquid that you take, and it helps with recovery for workout too.
Oh,
It's really good for muscle recovery and all sorts of stuff.
Okay.
It's kind of a little miracle solution. And then there's a topical that you can put on too. So yeah.
So when I post this video, would you be able to put that in the comments?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. But it's funny because someone just said to me I was talking to a lady yesterday and she looked at me and she goes, "How old are you?" And I told her, I'm 57. And so she was like, "Oh my God, your skin looks so smooth." And
Yeah.
it feels like it's like I used to have freckles and stuff like that. And over the years, I've stopped going in the sun just to protect it. And it's like, even now it's so clear. I don't even have to wear makeup. It's like,
Oh, nice.
so
Oh,
amazing.
Lord, I even go to the gym with makeup on. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, post that. I
No
would,
way.
yeah, that would be great. I think that would be
Yeah.
great.
Dripping in diamonds at the gym.
Well, I don't do that. I leave the big wedding ring home and I just wear a little one.
Yeah. Nice. Oh my. Well, good. Anybody have anything else they want to share? No? Cool. I will let you guys go. I'll post this as soon as it downloads. Sometimes it downloads really well and I post. Sometimes it takes to the next day, but so watch the replay if you guys, catch. I'll put what I caught on my notes. I'll put that in the comments. And then Hillary, excuse me, if you want to put your information in, and then Jody too, when you find out, that'd be really helpful. So, and Jody, I'll see if I'll find an answer to that with the water. I don't think that you will retain it if you drink too much. I mean, there is something called water intoxication, but what happens with that is that's usually like people like it's a big like kind of a mental health problem where and they can drop their sodium levels and actually have seizures from it, and so you don't have to worry about that. But the retaining of the water, I just think it's because you're starting to put more muscle on.
I was going to tell you too that I'm working on a homemade high protein yogurt
Oh,
recipe. So
yes.
working on that.
Yeah.
Did the first one and it turned out pretty good. I'm just trying to get the fat content down and the protein content up.
Good.
I'm
Good.
okay where the carbs are and the calories. So I'll be making more of that and playing with it. Fine.
Awesome. When you perfect it, you'll have to market it and sell it.
And it's really quite tasty. I was surprised.
Good. All right. Anybody have anything at all? All good? All good? Awesome. You guys are great. Look for the replay. I'll put the comments in. Have a great rest of your night.
You too.
All right. Yes, thank you. Thanks for joining. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
See you, everybody.